So, in preparation for conference, right? It's gonna be kind of like this. Let's do it ourselves first, right? So, gonna have a few people up here who do a great job representing, right? Progression. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Not starting perfect, right? But progressing every day. So we're gonna kind of do a panel, just kind of make this a conversation. We're gonna talk about some concepts, some mentality, maybe some tools. Hopefully you can kind of take some nuggets today and add them to your recipe for success, right? And we're just gonna be, can we just be real? Like, is that okay if we just have a conversation and we're just kind of real?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna be offended if someone up here makes a certain decision for their life?
It's all good.
No? Cool. We're just gonna chat. We're just gonna have a conversation. You know? So I'm gonna have Mr. Mohammed, Mr. Mousa, and Miss Cierra come on up. So maybe let's go quick intros. Maybe, I know you're each on a different program. We got Ready Refresh over here. We've got Costco Home Improvement, Cinch. All these people have traveled with this program to other cities. They've learned or taught other people, several individuals. So if you want to give us a quick, let's go this. Biggest thing you struggled with from your first day, and biggest thing you're confident with now. Let's go down the line. You want to go first, Mom?
Yeah, sure. It'd probably be my just genuinely being open with people, genuinely being open in communication and doing all of those things, right? Actually reaching out to people, or even like, I guess my student mentality. Like I was someone that was somewhat willing to learn, but I never was willing to reach out to actually get that help. I'm someone that was kind of just dependent on myself, wanted to do things on my own, and since I've been in this business, that's something that's kind of, that's something that's necessary to actually elevate your game, and that's what I realized over time, and had to kind of also put my pride aside in a way. I let my ego get to me sometimes, but put that down and then overcame it that way, and with time it just elevated me a lot, and very grateful for it too.
Definitely.
Mentorship for sure.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that. I had a huge ego coming in for sure. And what's maybe right now, what are you cooking with? What should people come and ask you and learn from you with?
I believe just as far as like performance, most likely right now for sure. And not only that, just being reliable as far as like communication and being open and actually being a servant leader to people, being there whenever they want and just being that helping hand, and knowing that sometimes people don't want to make that initiative to take that step out and reach out. So by me taking that initiative and reaching out to them instead.
For sure. So people should go to you for any store, any day of the week, like come
Absolutely.
to you, learn how to problem solve like you do?
Absolutely.
Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Miss Cierra, what did you suck with the most starting out?
I would probably say networking and reaching out, same thing. It wasn't necessarily like an ego thing, but it more so like, I'm really shy. I don't want to call this person that I don't know and tell them I'm struggling. Like, it was that's awkward for me to do, and it still is, but it's just about overcoming it. Like, okay, I'm at a 0 right now. I'm either gonna suck or I'm gonna figure it out and fix it. And it has to come to a point where you're willing to just not suck. Like, you cannot fix your own problems. Like, we can embrace the suck all day, but if you're not gonna do anything about it, then you're gonna keep sucking. So I didn't want to, so it was just reach out and network, figure out how to network. So whether it's a text, a voice memo, call, anything you need to do, reach out. That way you can get that help and gain that momentum that you're looking for. And then something I feel like I'm confident with now is just being confident in myself and like my ability to do it. Like, I know some of us talk about imposter syndrome. I don't think I can do this. Like, y'all tell me I can, but I don't know if I'm here to do it for real. And at this point, it's just like, no, I know I can do it. Like, imagine yourself in the shoes that you want to be in and figure out how to get there, or don't. figure out how to get there or don't. Like that's as simple as it is, and I refuse not to. So just being confident in yourself and spreading that belief to others as well.
Definitely. Now I want to dig into that, but we're gonna pause on that for a second. We're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. What do you struggle with starting out, Moose?
I would say when I first started, I struggled with finding motivation, looking for the motivation every day. Because if you're working 30 hours a week or working 60, 70 hours a week, you're going to have the downhills. You're going to have your low days. You're going to have days you don't perform anything. You're going to have days where you don't feel like going to your car to drive to work. You don't feel like driving to the store. So thinking when I started this business as, I'm gonna be up every day. I'm gonna be motivated every day, and then when I get this crash, I'm like, okay, I'm quitting. I can't do it. I'm gonna go find another job. I'm gonna go find this. I'm gonna find this. And then having a one-on-one with one of the leaders here and telling me that the motivation is not gonna get me anywhere. If you're not disciplined and not, you should not care how you feel. You should perform even if you don't care. If it's your worst day, if you just got a divorce, if anything happened, there's something you have to do. It's your job. You're gonna have to do it either way. That's the only way you could actually see the progression that you want to see in your life, and showing the universe that you actually deserve what's coming to you. You deserve that promotion that you're gonna get. You deserve whatever is coming to you. You deserve the money that's gonna come to you, and cutting off all the bad habits that were holding you back.
Definitely. Definitely. I want to dig into that too, but for the sake of my structure here, we're gonna put a pin in that. So what do you feel most confident with now?
I feel most confident with talking to strangers. When I first started I was like, okay, nobody's gonna buy from me. I have a bad accent. I just started learning English like a year ago. How am I was struggling talking to my friends in English, so how am I gonna go up to a stranger and close them on a home warranty? When I first started, everybody was like, I hate home warranties, this is a scam, this is a scam. And I was like, how am I supposed to convince them with that? Put me on water, please, I want water. You know? But then I realized that if I'm not confident not with myself and my English, if I'm not confident with the thing I'm selling, that all the home warranties are a scam, well, this one is not. This is the best program that there is. I'm way confident in whatever I'm selling. I'm talking to you. If you tell me no, I'm surprised you're telling me no. Like, oh, you don't want it? Me in my head, I'm like, oh, he wants it, without even saying it. But when he says no, I should be surprised with every customer. Get 100 no's, I could be surprised with 100 no's. Like, why don't you want it? It's the best deal. I convince myself it's the best deal. But if you don't want it, it's your loss.
It's interesting. I don't know if you guys were paying attention, but everything that was their weakness starting out is now their strength in some relative way. I think that's really cool. Okay, so let's talk about confidence, right? Usually, a lot of us start with about 0 to 1% of it, and then over time, it builds and develops. So, we have different people in here, whether they're starting out, probably don't have a lot of confidence because they're new to something. Right, there's people who are maybe moving up and they see the progression of, okay, I'm more confident now than I was 2 weeks ago. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be more confident than now. And then maybe there's people who are riding high and high rolling too. So let's talk about that.
Reps. That's the only thing I can say. Confidence just comes from doing something a trillion times over and over and over and over till you're pretty much like sick of it. It's muscle memory to you at this point. You can do it with your eyes closed. That's something that's worked for me not only in this business, but in life in general, gym, habits, everything. Just doing something over and over and over till it's ingrained in my head. And by doing it that many times, I know what I'm doing. So I'm not second guessing anything at that point because I've done it so many times. Like, how are you gonna question something that I've probably done for the past year or so? You can't question me on that. So having that kind of gives you that level of confidence, that like foundation to stand on.
So if I'm not perfect in 2, 3, or 4 or 5 weeks, then what should I do?
Try another 5 weeks, and if not, try another 5 weeks. And if not, try another 5 weeks.
Okay.
Dang, but TikTok teaches me to do the opposite, right? It teaches me instant gratification. How do you overcome, the way we're addicted to these, whatever you guys look at, right, on your phone? How did you overcome the world screams instant gratification? How do you delay it?
What's crazy is the way that addiction is built in the beginning is by doing it so many times, by doing this gesture so many times, repetitions, and that itself is muscle memory. So thinking of that, that's crazy to me. But yeah, just slowly overcoming that by maybe like reading a book or just replacing it by like being intentional about it, dedicating a certain amount of time to this habit, and then if you want, you can do that, I guess, for a reward.
So you're telling me if I do something 10,000 times, no matter what it is, I'm going to be great at it?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
I think it also
Yeah.
falls in like the repetition. The discipline to do it repeatedly as well, because it may not be something that you want to do. I don't feel like picking up this book. I'm ready to go to bed. Like, okay, but pick the book up still. Like, you said you want to learn. You said you want to grow. Pick the book up. Stop falling into those old habits and just really have that discipline within yourself, because that discipline starts at that instant gratification. Like, I used to work at a restaurant and go cash out in the weekend, pay rent in 2 days, but I'm also not going anywhere working at the restaurant. So do I want to have that instant gratification where I get that done? Or do I want to go through that long process to earn what it is that I'm truly looking for? Discipline.
Definitely. Tell us about confidence, Mousa. I think you have some of it.
Yeah, so
I want you to
I'll talk about it, but I want to say one thing about.
You scream confidence, okay?
I want to talk about what she was saying is when you get a sale, you guys know how happy you get when you get a sale, right? Like, it's like the best feeling ever, right? So even when you get that first sale of the day, that first sale of the business, that first sale of the week, that sale that gets you the push week, you know how much dopamine that gives you. So what helped me when I realized that how happy I get when I get a sale is I cut off every single thing that was giving me dopamine outside the business. I cut off TikTok, I cut off smoking, I cut off hanging out, going to parties. I cut off all the dopamine that I get and told my brain the only good dopamine I'm getting so far is from the sales I'm getting. That's the only way. Your brain has to work. You're like, okay, I can't sit down. I need that dopamine. I'm gonna go get that sale. I'm gonna get that dopamine rush that's going on. So cutting off all the bad habits and committing yourself 100% to something, you're gonna get it back. And about confidence, as
Sorry, wait. Let me ask you a follow-up question to that.
Yeah.
Do you regret stop smoking or going to the parties?
No, I would say everybody should. Maybe it's a bad habit for me. It might be something good for you if you prefer going out, hanging out. If you see that as a good thing, then you should stay doing it. But if you believe that that's something that's holding you back because that's not gonna get you anywhere in life, if going out every Saturday, even after you work a 12-hour shift, but you have to go to a party on Saturday, if that's how your mindset is, you're not gonna go anywhere. But if I'm working 12 hours a day, you should tell yourself, I can't go to a party. Like, why would I go to a party? That doesn't even make sense. Why would I go smoke now? That doesn't make sense. I need to focus. I need to get promoted. I need to get a new office. I need to do this. I need to do this. If I'm here to get the opportunity, I have an opportunity nobody else has. Other people are working at McDonald's, at Chick-fil-A, at the mall, getting paid hourly. You're getting commission-based, performance-based. If you're not performing at your highest level because some stuff is holding you down, you have to cut off these bad stuff, whatever it is. If it's a boyfriend, if it's a girlfriend you're talking to, if it's a friend that's holding you back, if it's smoking, partying, drinking, everything else.
Did you want to say anything on confidence real quick?
I would say confidence is just what you tell yourself. You can't just be confident by the way you're presenting yourself. You have to be confident with what you're saying to yourself, not what you're saying other people about yourself. Like, when I used to go play taekwondo back in the days in Jordan, my coach told me one time, you're telling everybody you're gonna win, but do you believe it in your brain that you're gonna win? Like, you're saying that out loud. It is gonna help you saying it out loud, but are you saying it to yourself? That's what's gonna help you. Like, am I the best salesman in the office? You should say that to yourself. Am I gonna get 20 sales a day? Yes, I am. You're gonna get 7 at least. So what you say to yourself is what you're gonna get back. So Just keep saying it over and over, and you're gonna believe it, and that's what people are gonna see. Like,
Definitely. Cool. Okay. So like, how does that start? You know, I know we talk about the systems and step 8 and that sort of stuff, but if my goal is to become more confident, Mohammed, you said I need more reps, but maybe along those lines too, like there's a point of where you learn all the product knowledge to a program. So what's the, like how do I turn that product knowledge, me knowing something conceptually versus me getting results in it?
Demanding control, your step 8. And a lot of times people see control as like something that's pushy. Like, it doesn't have to be pushy at all. If I tell you, like, Mousa, scoot over, like, Mousa's gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna scoot over. But if I'm like, super quick, can you actually scoot over? I just need a little space. So it's all in how you say it. So you can have the product knowledge, but if you don't have any direction, or you're not able to take control of the situation, you're not gonna be able to yield the results that you want. And at that point, it becomes a waste of product knowledge at that point. So you want to be sharp, but you also have to know how to add direction and guide the customer, or whatever situation it is, your life even, in the direction that you want, or else it's all just information just kind of floating in the air.
Definitely. Can one of you guys speak to maybe 2 or 3 things verbally and non-verbally that might help someone do that?
And how to direct the sale.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I was working with someone today in the morning, and when I give them a rebuttal, answering fast is gonna show that you know what you're talking about. But when you're talking to the customer, making them feel special, that I'm doing this for you. Like, say for example, what was the example, Trevor?
Child box.
Yes. So say for example, you're talking to a customer about the water, and he's like, "Oh, but I have kids. They're gonna press that button or whatever it is. They're gonna spill the water." Oh, okay, perfect. So you want to pause for a little bit, think in your head, oh, he's coming up to a solution for me. Like, you say it to every customer, but you want to make them feel special. So you're gonna be like, okay, so see what I can do for you is actually see if I can get you a child lock. Now you're doing something for them, so they can't say no. Like, you're going out your time and you thought of a solution. I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna find a child lock for free. Don't even worry about paying for it. I'm gonna get you one for free. So I would say making the customer feel special about themselves, that you're doing something for them. And about confidence in directing the sale, you should be in a point where you know what the rebuttal is gonna be before they even say it. So you should take full control of the situation, present it. Okay, I said this thing, so he's probably gonna give me this rebuttal now. So when I answer, I don't want to say it too fast. I already know what he's gonna say. He's standing there, he's listening. I can make him feel special with the rebuttal. I say, like, this is only for you. This is the solution to the problem I have. And that's it.
That's really good. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. Cool. So now, I mean, mentally, you know, one of my mentors told me, or maybe I heard this somewhere recently, but physical labor is easier than mental labor. Right? If you think about the, you know, blue collar, white collar type of different jobs, and there's more people who are physically fit than financially fit in the world. You guys ever think about that? Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy, right? And you know, we can go out there and you can do physical labor, right? But physical labor doesn't pay as much as mental labor, which probably means that mental labor is harder. Okay, well, what does mental labor mean? Mental labor is swimming against the grain, or swimming upstream, going against the grain, right? So less people think like this, right? And I know we talk about association a lot, reading, listening, learning, being a good student. Let's flip a little bit, right? I want to talk about disassociation, which is kind of an uncomfortable topic. But I want to hear from you guys, maybe thoughts on, like, was there anyone, we talk about association, right? Show me your 5 closest friends, I'll show you your future, right? Show me, you know, the average bank accounts of the people you spend time with, I'm going to guess yours to the nearest 1,000, like, I guarantee you, right? We all know that concept of, you know, the people you hang around, you're going to become eventually. If your 5 friends sell drugs, you're selling drugs too, right? Like, that's just, it's birds of a feather flock together. So let's talk about maybe the opposite of, hey, like, have you guys ever had to like disassociate with someone? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, like I definitely had a situation where there was somebody in my life who was completely unsupportive of the business, didn't see the vision, just, why are you working? Why are you selling water all day? Like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, let's do this. Let's not read. Let's not go out. Let's not associate. Let's just stay at home. And at some point, you have to come to a conclusion. Like, no, you have to be able to grab yourself and take control of the situation and say, hey, am I gonna keep walking down the path that's getting me nowhere, or am I gonna split paths and have a nice life? So sometimes you have to be able to let go of that friend or family member or somebody that's holding you back, because in that moment, if all they're doing is pouring into your ear that you shouldn't be here, it's not worth it, it's a waste of time, then you're gonna start to believe that too. That's my closest friend, so obviously they must have good intentions, they must know. So it's about checking the fruit on that tree and understanding, like Max said, like, I love my mom, but would never ask her for business advice because she's not the person I go to for that. So just understanding when it's time to cut ties with somebody that's holding you back, that way you can elevate yourself in life, because they're not walking up with you. It's time to let it go. It's their weight.
Ooh, bar. Like that.
I like talking about this touchy stuff. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
this is good. This is good. I like it.
that. I like that. Well, I mean,
Thoughts on that, Mohammed?
yeah, that's pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of a similar situation, right? I've been in this country for 2 years, but before that, if you don't know, I was living in Egypt, and back over there, I was still in high school and all of that, and I was going through the phase of, you know, smoking, drinking, partying, all of that, right? And I was stuck in this loop, but I really wanted to get out of it. I just felt like I was stuck, right? And something that happened for me was moving out here, which like was a blessing in disguise, right? Even though I got hit with a lot of responsibilities and a lot of like stuff on my head or on my shoulder, I got put in a new environment, right? And that helped me disassociate from all the people that were genuinely holding me back at that time. And I didn't realize that till time started going by here, and I genuinely realized myself progressing. And once I made that realization, and it hit me at that point that that's what matters the most, you know, changing the environment you're in to genuinely being able to be able to elevate your game, right, to the next step. And that's something that helped me out a lot with disassociating, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. And maybe along with that too comes, you know, we're taught like, hey, let's study, let's be a good student, right? And I think something that a concept that we don't learn is, or that we don't talk about enough, I think is, you know, ever since, you know, we're a young kid up until our 20s, mid-20s, we're taught certain things, right? But my question to you guys is, what if your worldview is slightly off? What if? Just consider, what if what you were taught about jobs, about money, about yourself, what if it's slightly inaccurate or fully inaccurate? What if? Just consider that. Right?
That'd be crazy.
So for 20 years, for 18 years, for however many years old you are, usually we've been wired to think a certain way, and then we're plopped into adulthood and they're like, figure it out. And then you're spinning your wheels and you're like, oh, I'm not getting where I want to be. Right? So maybe for you guys, like what was your process there? Like, did you ever realize, man, there's some head trash that I need to like unlearn?
For sure.
Sure, I would say just no matter what environment you came from, there's always something holding you back. Whether it was friends, past friends, whether it was the household you were living in, whether it was your parents, whether it was your school, whether it was your government, whatever it is, there's something that was holding you back that's programmed in your mind and got you to the level you are now. But if you unlearn everything and just start ingraining in your mind good input, like stop listening to the rap music that could drive to the store listening about killing people and taking drugs and going to parties, and start driving to the store listening to some good input about someone telling you how to make millions. That's just what's gonna keep coming into your brain, because your brain doesn't know that you just listen to it. Your brain, this is going straight to your brain. So when you're just sitting there and putting good input to your life, that's what's gonna reflect out to your physical reality, to your real life experiences. You're just gonna keep experiences what you're listening to. That's it.
Love that.
Have you ever considered like why it's a social norm to listen to that stuff? Like why is XYZ rapper like more viewed on social media than, you know, like what Tony Robbins is trying to preach to us? Did you ever think about that? Like why?
I thought about it the other day actually. It's pretty crazy.
So, but why do you think what drugs, sex, parties, like yeah, even some songs like literally hurting people is like more popular and more condoned
And it's normalized too.
and normalized than like pursuing success and trying to be successful?
Because that's the direction the masses are swimming. Everybody's going that way. So why would I turn around and go the hard
Who's
way?
turning the wheel though?
You know? Yeah. So it's about you wanting to take control of your vehicle. 'Cause everybody can go this way towards traffic. I don't want to sit in traffic. I want to go this way. So it's about making that mental switch and just realizing, like, even when people when the workers walk past me in the store and don't work too hard, and I always say I try to, they're like, I've never heard that before. And I'm like, I literally cringe when they say don't work too hard,
Like,
because
why?
like, what do you, like, I understand why maybe you don't want to work too hard. That's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not judging, that's fine. But
Right.
me personally, I have results that I want, and like, I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna work as hard as I can in order to get that, because otherwise I won't be anywhere. I'll be here, and we can talk about not working too hard and complaining about it. And why complain when you just fix it? Turn the wheel.
For sure. Mohammed, do you think it's common knowledge out there that if you want something, like it's gonna take hard work to get?
Should be common knowledge, but we all know that's not so common.
So then why do people, if you are working hard, like tell you not to?
The way they're programmed as well. Again, like I said, we're all products of our environment, the way we're brought up, the way the people who we surround ourselves by, and when we're constantly in this loop, right? Whether it's because we're stuck on social media, stuck on like whatever the habit is around us, keeping us in that cycle, it just keeps holding us down, right? So it's just a matter of kind of like seeing that and realizing that, or maybe just having somewhat of a realization of that and choosing to act upon it instead of ignoring it, right? Not being ignorant to it, but acting upon what that feeling is, right? To be able to kind of drift away. A lot of people call these types of people bots. I guess you guys probably heard that term. So it's just kind of breaking out of that matrix in a way.
You're throwing some Andrew Tate at us right now. Definitely. Man, well, you know, you guys definitely think differently, and it's kind of uncomfortable. You know, like hearing things you haven't heard, or that you know are kind of true, but then like someone confirms it and you're like, I wish that wasn't true, but like you don't want to believe it. It's like, you know, like I am gonna have to work hard. Damn it! I wanted it to be easy. You know, like that realization of, darn. Success is inconvenient. Success doesn't come when you want it to, right? To achieve anything is like based on inconveniences. Like when something comes around that's inconvenient, doing it probably is going to put you at a leg up, right? So maybe just parting thoughts, like what, if we know that, right? Success is inconvenient. Success is inconvenient. what's an inconvenience that you maybe had to embrace because you saw that, okay, well, I need to kind of do this thing. I know, I also have this other thing at Wednesday nights, but book club, I know I probably should spend time with my team at book club, right? For example, what are some inconveniences that you guys have maybe come to grips with that are maybe no longer inconvenient, or maybe they still are, but you're seeing results because of that extra thing?
Time being put in. Simple as that. I never felt like you had to put in, I never realized you had to put in so much time, right? And accept that you're gonna put in that much time without seeing results for a very long time. That for me for sure, and then accepting that, and I've slowly been seeing results with that because I wasn't someone that wanted to put in time to actually reach out to uplines or reach out to mentors or even reaching out to downlines now, right? And ever since I've been doing that, yes, it's inconvenient for that time, but I've been growing, right? Being more open with communicating and being more of a servant leader, so that over time for sure. And helping out a lot, so yeah.
I would say for me, the inconvenience, you could call it, probably the promotion, honestly speaking. We all know Radiate got promoted a couple weeks ago, and awesome, perfect. And once, Max and I had a conversation just about standards and making sure we're upholding that. At first it was like, well, dang it. But as I came to the realization yesterday, it's just like, dang, I actually feel prepared to stand in this position and wear the pin down. Now I'm not guessing dang, should I be? Can I be a senior? Am I? Now it's like, no, I'm prepared for this. And thinking about it, had I received it when Radiate received it, I would have been second guessing myself in my head, but there's no second guessing now. I'm prepared. So sometimes your promotion may not come. Maybe that last sale that you needed in the field didn't come, but a lot of times it's being held because in some way you may not even know that you're not ready for it. But when you do receive it, it's perfect. I'm so glad it happened like that. So just taking the inconveniences and spitting them back out and doing what's needed to get it done.
That's good. That's good stuff.
I would say one of the inconveniences is not being selfish and laying your ego down and everything. Because even if you succeeded in other environments, any other environment, you come in thinking, oh, I can do it. They did it, I can do it, and not coming to learn. And seeing people that actually want to help you. There's a lot of uplines here. Everybody has an upline. So you coming in thinking, I don't need to listen to anybody. That's you being selfish because someone is literally coming to help you and you're not listening. So maybe just putting your pride down, putting your ego down, and actually listening. If you don't want to apply the feedback, at least that's fine, but at least listen, because this is someone trying to help you to reach where you can be. So just laying your pride down, letting your ego down would definitely help.
Definitely. Cool. Well, I'd be networking with these guys, especially if something they said kind of made you uncomfortable. I would just kind of consider the fact that you're at where you're at in life because of the way you think, right? If you want to get to a different destination, well, we've probably got to change what's up here, right? So I think it's a skill overcoming our head trash of all the self-doubt and insecurity and skepticism. I think that's all just part of the process of overcoming, right? So let's give a round of applause to our panelists.